9 o'clock, please join us for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, first on the agenda this morning is approve the minutes of June 27th.
I'll make the motion.
Tim's moved,
I'll second.
Don second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next is miscellaneous motions. Move to authorize direct the chairman to sign the revised CP 4U dated July 5th, 2022.
I'll also move.
Second.
Don's moved, Tim second. Any discussion? I believe the only thing was the emergency management was the only thing that was changed. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Motion to appoint board members for the Teach Out Cemetery. Upon the request of the Teach Out Cemetery Board, the following persons are appointed as board members for Teach Out Cemetery effective immediately to serve until their successors may be qualified. Number 1, Wilma Hess. Number 2, Chuck DeLong. 3, Robert Hess. 4, Sue Lingenfelter. 5, Brian Murray.
I don't think I've ever done this before. All the time I'm in, I don't think we've ever
Done a
appointed
motion.
cemetery boards.
I don't know, I know Brad Jones in the clerk's office has done lots and lots of work on getting this one put together, because 2 of the past ones have passed here in the last 18 months. So, since it's in our agenda, also move, Jesse.
Don's moved.
I'll second.
Tim second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next one, move to waive purchasing policy as an informal bid process for good cause, said cause being that the voucher is the vendor is a single source vendor, and approve the ESRI software maintenance contract in the amount of $9,300. To authorize and direct the appraiser to sign same. Funds to come from GSI fund.
I'll move.
Tom's moved. I'll second. Any discussion? Don't know much about it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
It is an annual agreement.
Annual agreement. Thank you. So do we need to call him, or is he gonna call you?
I don't know for sure.
Okay, we'll see
I
what
got a
happens.
message to him.
That does our books for today. Rhonda, housing authority.
We can share.
Gridley Christian Church had contacted us, and they would like to know if they could get the landfill fees waived at 621 Henley Street in Gridley. They plan to take it down. The house is just not able to be saved, and have a covered shelter for the community and the church use.
Is the church beside it? Is that the church beside it?
The church is close to it, I believe.
I think it's right, to the left of it, I think, I've been there
I
3 or 4
didn't know
different
which side it
times.
was on, but yes.
Also move.
Bob's moved,
I'll second.
Dawn second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Heidi was here.
Yeah, Heidi was here, didn't she? Blasted out.
Hi, guys. How are you?
You go make sure she's coming.
She's on the clock. Pass that down to Tom. He can dial Joe if Joe doesn't call at 9:20. You can let your fingers do the walking on the telephone.
Sure.
She's having some issues trying to get something printed for this, and Brad's helping her, and then hopefully she'll be ready.
Okay. You guys got anything with this one, or is he gonna be
He
in?
actually does have a 10 o'clock.
Oh, he's in, okay, I guess he does, doesn't he? I guess I can sign the minutes while we're sitting here right now.
Let's see if Richard, he looks like he only has 5 minutes time to file.
Yeah, she's gonna be, if she's, yeah, we can flop. I don't know, do we have to be, can we flop? Where it's a, I guess this isn't a
Well,
hearing.
it isn't a hearing.
It's not a hearing.
Evidently, it's not a hearing, she must, I don't think it's a hearing. If it's a hearing, it needs to be done on time,
Right.
so I don't know.
You know, everything in that folder was emailed out to us. Couldn't see the picture is pretty well all blurred out, but the planning board had heard the case, so I don't know exactly what it is. It's in the legal area.
Nope.
Richard was gonna head over and.
Okay. Heidi, you're up.
It must be a hearing. Is this a hearing?
Is this a hearing?
It is, yes.
So we have to do it in order.
Yep.
Sorry about that, guys. The printer wouldn't print the resolution.
Ah.
So, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and hand out the book. Good morning.
Morning, Heidi.
Yep. Thanks, Steve, all those pictures were blurred on the internet. They're pretty cool.
Okay, so on June 15th, 2022, the Coffee County Planning Board met and they reviewed case SU 2022-01 for a privately owned metal building with living quarters to be used seasonally for lodging for customers and used privately in the off-season. The Planning Board went ahead and recommended approval for this case, and they attached 3 conditions to this case, which are located on page 3 of the minutes. Would you like me to read those aloud, or?
Yeah. I would.
Okay, so first condition was the applicant and agent will follow the recommendation of the sanitation officer for all requirements according to the Coffee County Sanitation Code. 2, when Travis and Diamond Site are no longer using the property for a privately owned building with living quarters to be used seasonally for lodging for customers and used privately in the off-season, and the old church for storage, the special use will be null and void after 30 days unless the new landowner goes through the zoning process to continue this use. Then the last condition that was placed on the case requires the agent and landowners to submit an activity restriction form that includes discharging of firearms, music and noise levels, off-road vehicles operating in consideration of surrounding agricultural uses, and violations of these rules result in loss of privileges or being asked to leave. So, are you wanting me to go through the book? The book highlights what's in the minutes, so I'll let you guys tell me what you'd like me to do now. But
So the property was purchased by Travis.
Okay, so if you look on the first page, it's 2 properties technically. There's one with the church that's there on the left side, the Clarendon Kafer, and then he bought the additional, I want to say that was a 1 acre tract, so now it's about a 6.5 acre tract, so he bought about 5.5 more acres there on the east side with that long strip.
All on the north side of the roadway.
Yes, north of 23rd Road, yes.
Did we need to adjourn our meeting to go into this?
No, do you have a guideline for us to follow for this hearing? You should have one, especially, at least for the chairman to follow,
If it is truly a hearing.
if it's a hearing.
Okay.
I mean, where we have to recess and go into public hearing and all that, there should be a guideline for that, so.
We're supposed to,
You should have one, you always give us one before.
I was instructed not to give you one anymore. So if you'd like me
Who
to,
instructed you not to?
my boss told me that you guys didn't want it anymore.
oh, Bobby did?
Mhm.
Did we decide we didn't want any?
I don't think so, but I'm not gonna recall.
I think we need one. Now, for certain procedures you gotta go through.
Well, that's what I thought there was in it. If
Yeah.
it was-
Call Bobby up.
There are certain procedures, and I think we need one so that we're in
If you wanna
compliance with it all.
I
put this
didn't
on,
realize we'd authorize a change in that.
if you wanna put it on temporary hold, I can run downstairs real quick and make one up real quick, and then we can go through that if you wish, and you can go to somebody else, or what would you like to do?
I would say we haven't actually went into this hearing,
We haven't.
so why can't we just delay this for a week? I mean, just because it seems like we're out of seat, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, if this is a true hearing, we'd have to adjourn as a
It's
board.
We have to adjourn the board and enter into,
Enter into the hearing.
yes. So without that paperwork in front of us and, like I say, sounds like we need a question answered. And I just didn't have that question answered. as opposed
We will
to-
make sure we do it right, so that we don't have
But-
any.
And I agree with that, but I'm not sure we want to postpone it a week, because we have the hearing, everything has been prepared. The zoning committee has known coming to us today, the people know it was coming to us today, and probably expect some reaction. So I think maybe we need to, take care of the other situation, but I think maybe take care of this before we leave.
I can run down and go make that real quick,
We can,
if you guys would like me to.
We got quite a few scheduled times and one of them we probably need to meet here at 9:20, so.
that would be my other reason for wanting to postpone this. I
Yeah.
mean, we postponed many of things for a week just because we didn't have everything in front of us. I don't know why we couldn't do it again.
That required newspaper publication.
Pardon me?
Does that work if we postpone?
Whatever you guys want, I mean, the quicker we can take care of it, the better, but.
Actually, technically, as long as it was brought to you guys today, it wouldn't require publication, because you're telling people in open session right now that you're delaying it a week. So you're giving proper notification right now. You wouldn't have to put it in the paper.
I think that would be a wait question.
I don't think anything's wrong with the proposal and with this stuff. I think the only problem we have
Is the
is.
hearing.
Yes, the procedure for it.
And the planning board passed it on 4-0 vote, so it was unanimous vote by the hearing, or by the planning board, so.
Okay.
Cause I read over all of it yesterday on my phone.
So do we wanna postpone this till later date, till later time today?
I don't think I'd have a problem. Travis, it is Travis, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Can you be back another time?
Yeah.
Although right now, I don't know what time we'd set for sure,
Doesn't matter to me, whatever you guys want.
if you think you need to be here for
I
it.
wouldn't mind delaying everyone else but, Utah Rock.
It's gonna take me a little bit to make the checklist, so you can just continue on with yours, and then we can finish then.
We can pull out, yeah, we can
move everything back
move
down.
everything back.
Other than Joe would probably,
Okay,
It's up to you.
we'll hold this until later time here this
I
morning.
just wanna make sure everybody's comfortable with procedure.
Yeah, 'cause this is my first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a-
Being a hearing.
We have a procedure we have to go through for a hearing.
Okay.
Then.
Then, what time do you want me to
Changed it.
come back?
Wayne's gonna be at 10, we'll just move, we'll have you at 10:15.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
We'll move everything down.
can you make that work?
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Richard won't be able to do his in 4 minutes, probably.
Hmm?
Richard probably won't be able to do his in 4 minutes. You all let Bobby know that we're gonna move him down 15 minutes?
Okay.
Or what was she gonna take? She was gonna take,
And she was gonna take the 10:15, so yeah, that would move him
she was gonna take 15 minutes on this.
to, at least 10:30.
Joe's down for 25 minutes, I'm not sure what he's gonna have, that it would take that long either.
It may not, but, that's what he said, so.
I'd rather them allot too much time sometimes.
Yeah.
Just noted the bond election is what he was gonna discuss with you guys, so.
It's, close enough, I can dial him up.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we can dial him up.
I know how to operate this phone.
Cut down 9.
Get dial 9 and get out.
To get out. That's all I know.
Something her back, maybe in the first meeting.
So we'll go into our 9:20 Q-Tech Rock LLC, Joe Serrano via telephone, notice of election.
I'm just leaving my phone back.
Oh.
I don't need it.
Joe Serrano.
Record your message at the tone.
That didn't work.
Joe Serrano.
Record your message.
Got another idea?
Well, we can get Richard in here.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take very long.
Yeah. Nobody wants to play today.
How's your day going?
Yeah, it's going great. Happy Monday. Well, Tuesday.
The Tuesday, that's the problem.
That's like trying to work on Sunday.
Tim?
That didn't do it. Good idea
In
today.
Australia on the 4th of July.
What was that, Australia, or 4th of July?
Are we going to get Richard
I
again?
truly doubt it.
Poor Richard.
Why wouldn't you?
They have a 4th, but they don't celebrate the Independence
They
Day.
didn't say a thing about that, did
But they shoot fireworks,
England has one too.
don't they have big fireworks and
they? No, they have one in New Year's.
stuff? Oh, that's right, yeah, that's right.
Morning,
Morning.
Richard. We're just trying to find people to come and see us.
Just, yeah,
Nobody wants to.
I was almost here the last time and then, no, never mind, just kidding.
Well, we're just trying to keep
Just
it
a
moving.
joke, just a joke. So, you're always approving the abatements, so this is one bigger abatement, although it's not very much, actually. We were shocked when we got to the end. There's technically only $3,166.68 of taxes that are abated. And then there's also another $15,000 of special assessments, which would be some sewer fees and most of this is actually mowing expense to the city of Burlington. But they were planning on writing that off anyway. They just wanted somebody to buy the property to get it mowed so they wouldn't have to. They said they never anticipated getting any of that back. So, any questions on this? That is,
The second column, cost allocations,
Mhm.
11,588.31, what's in that number?
That's, section D back there. That'd be the other side. Yeah, that's not on there.
The breakdown doesn't show
Sorry.
that.
The number you're talking
that,
I'm not sure we have.
yeah, that's the publication fees and, you know, for the assorted times of putting in the paper. Some attorney fees. That's the main thing there. Although some of that would be taxes also are included in that, I believe. No, that's the next column.
The next column, next to it's taxes.
Yeah, I knew this all Friday when I reviewed it, and then you made me have a holiday. But last I remember, it was just $350. That's one of the, never mind, that's the entire cost. But a lot of that is the attorney fees going in there as well.
That third column shows taxes and interest paid 18,312.97. On the separate sheet, the taxes abated 18,624.38. Should those be the same number?
No,
There's $300 difference.
this is what was paid. That's taxes paid. And if you look on the other page, it had the 18.6. That has two numbers on it. There are taxes and then there are special assessments. So the page you set down,
That's the 18.6.
right above that 18.6, there are two numbers on there. 130 whatever, 3,100, and then 15.4.
3166.68 and.
That's the actual taxes we're abating. Is that 3,100?
Okay, that's where that number is.
And then the cost allocation is, title fees are included in that. Any of the research, some attorney's fees that haven't already been paid separately. So that's leftover stuff, basically is what that should say.
Simple.
Yeah.
So this is all off the auction. This is all. off
This
the-
is just,
the tax
well,
auction.
yes, that Exhibit C is all auction money.
Okay.
But the back also had that D, that has money that was given pre-sale redemptions as well.
Uh-huh.
So you see the first column says sale proceeds on C, 41.2, and then the top funds on deposit, 41.2.
41,260.
And then there were some recording fees that we took out somewhere else. I don't remember where those came from. I think they just wrote me a check for that. And then the pre-redemption stuff was, depending on what stage they were, if they were right after it was published, it wasn't as much money. It was like $225 if you waited For the first publication, it was 300, and in the end, like 350. So anyway, people paid off after we started the process. That's where that 10,500 came from.
So you're wanting us to abate 3,166?
Yes, that's what needs
So
done.
we need a motion to abate $3,166.68.
In taxes, and I suppose you're also abating the special assessment numbers. So I would make those two separate items in the motion. That 15,457.
Oh, okay. So
So the-
motion to abate taxes of $3,166.68. Motion number one
From the
Sure.
tax sale.
Mhm.
from the tax sale.
I'll move, like, it's clear as mud, but I'll move,
Bob's moved.
because
Yeah, there's a whole lot of numbers here.
Yeah.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Motion number two. Are you actually abating the special assessment value?
They're written off. And so I'm trying to recall how that actually goes, if that's abated.
did the city write them off?
They did.
They wrote them off.
I'm surprised there's that much special assessment.
It was
being
mostly
written off.
mowing.
15,500.
It was mostly mowing on two
Mostly
properties.
mowing.
Two properties over about 10 years.
Racked it up.
And then, like I said, there's a little bit of Jacobs Creek,
Yeah.
but I think it was almost $12,000 was mowing for the city of Burlington.
Technically, we're not writing it off for us, writing it off for the city, as I understand it, or?
They've
Did I understand it correctly?
already written it off. It's just,
So we're
they
just,
turn it over to
we're
us.
just cleaning it up now.
Yeah, they turned it over to us, so it's now added onto the taxes. And so, to clean it up, I guess we're just.
So it was added to the taxes.
Yes, but it's not a tax.
It's not tax, it's special assessment.
Right.
Okay.
But we're not abating either. because
Not abating either.
It's not
You're not
abatement
giving
either.
money back.
Mm-mm.
So,
A motion
It's
to
not-
waive,
I just-
motion to waive
Waive.
special assessment value
On-
fees of $15,400.
On those, I can give you the listing, there's 87 different pages. Because each tax year is a different page for each property, and like I said, one of them went back 12 years. And so it had 12 on its own. Some of them were back 4, some were 10. So each tax year for each property was a page. And
So
so,
technically, we're not writing off anything for the county.
you're just waiving, like,
Yeah.
you can touch the.
we're waiving the special assessments that were applied to taxes.
Yeah, waiving special, motion to waive special assessment taxes of $15,457.70 for auction properties,
I like it.
And should that motion say that, which the city has
which the city has already
forgiven or whatever,
forgiven.
so that they know what it is? Is this just all, was this all Burlington, or were there other cities involved?
Burlington.
Just all Burlington,
I think that was all Burlington.
okay.
Because all the other cities had bigger properties. These were basically 2 vacant lots.
Okay, so can that say Burlington?
So that
The
was,
city of Burlington has,
Yeah, has waived the
It's
fees.
already,
You got it all written down,
Yep.
ain't you? Also moved, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second.
Don's moved, Tim seconded.
what did it say?
move to waive special assessment taxes of $15,457.70 for auction properties which the city of Burlington has already waived the fees.
Any further discussion?
You second, right?
Yep. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
and so those 2 properties basically are number 6 and 45. If you were looking at those. The one is 10,700. So anyway, that is it for the tax sale.
That's it.
It's over.
It's done.
Yeah,
Behind us.
the next one's not until 2024. And hopefully it will go smoother.
Now we know where all the roadblocks are, Richard.
Yeah.
Thanks for all your work for making it happen.
Review things before you send them off. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I guess we can try Joe again, see if he wants to talk.
We'll pass this so we know what's in it.
I got it.
I thought it was something different.
I don't like that yet.
Joe Serrano.
Hey Joe, this is Tom, Coffee County Commission, you're live with City Commission meeting.
Hey, Commissioner, how are ya?
Good.
Good. I'm sorry I couldn't be down there this morning. I'm heading out of town, so I appreciate you allowing me to call in this morning.
That's fine.
So, for consideration, and actually, this is already, because of the timing and the publication and the need to get this over to the paper, this is the notice of the bond election that we wanted just to, I don't want to say re-ratify or informational purposes, but this is the notice of election that will be published on Thursday. And Wade just sent me a note. It sounds like just passed it on. So here's the notice of election itself. It provides for the ballot language. It provides where the polling places will be, and then it gives this additional information that we worked with Raymond James and Larry Goldberg to kind of put this together, make sure it complies with the statutory requirements, and it lists additional information, including what we're expected, what the project costs will be, what the bond amounts will be, what we have interest and premium that will be included in the bonds. We have the other available funds. In this instance, it's at $9.3 million because we'll have what we call original issue premium, which is a little bit over the amount of our amount of the bond. So we factor that in. So it looks like, hopefully, depending on if this proposition passes and depending on the time, it won't be over $10 million of contribution, but for our estimates, it's about $9.3 million of initial county contribution. We put in together the construction and equipment costs as well as what the professional fees, including architects and engineers, will be. Cost of issuance, it's an estimate of $300,000. I don't know if we'll get there, but that includes underwriter's discount in that number. So this information that is provided, again, we tried to highlight this in a couple different instances. In the first paragraph on the second, or the italicized paragraph on the second page, we put together that, these are general obligation bonds, but we have this comment, however, if the bond issue is approved, it is not anticipated the county will increase property taxes to support the jail project bond. That also is repeated in the last italicized paragraph. We do not anticipate that there will be any kind of property tax increase, and in fact, the numbers that Larry Goldberg and as well as Greg Barnberg at Raymond James provided, we don't know if the estimated revenues will be in the range of $850,000 to $950,000, but if it is in that range, then it will be a little bit shy of our debt service annually, but we definitely will not have to raise taxes. So I'm happy to answer questions. As kind of a summary is what this notice of election will be, and it is already at the paper for publication this Thursday in order to meet the 21-day requirement.
I believe Wade has looked at this and has approved it as well. Don, did you have a question?
I believe that to be the case. Is Wade there?
No, Wade is not with, I think he's in the building, but he's not here with us.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess he just sent a text that says I passed it on. They should call in a few. Yeah, we sent this a couple different times. I believe Wade has actually approved this. We sent it to Angie and Brad. We had a few open items. I was uncertain as to the revenue, the actual revenue stream from federal inmates, or it's really any inmates. It's not necessarily just federal inmates. It's any inmates outside the county. So we're looking at other jurisdictions as well as the federal inmates. They provided this estimate, and that was a number that we were waiting on before we could circulate it. So, I mean, we circulated, but that number was finalized just late last week.
Joe, this is Don. On that third italic paragraph on the second page, and then the italics on the last page, not to anticipate increase in taxes. We've made a commitment not to increase taxes. Why do those comments need to be in there? Or why those statements need to be there?
Because by way of the general obligation bonds, by its nature, requires if everything goes south,
Catastrophic.
and absolutely everything goes south, Wolf Creek is gone, there's not enough revenue. We have an obligation because these are general obligation bonds. There is, if everything goes south and there's not enough surplus in the general fund, then you would have an obligation to raise taxes, otherwise you would default. So as a GO bond or general obligation bond, by its nature, it's a pledge of the full faith and credit of the county. That what that means is if there's not enough surplus in your fund and there's not other revenues, then effectively the county would have to raise taxes. But it's not anticipated based on what we know and the numbers that we've reviewed, as well as what the financial advisors have been telling us.
What's the earliest recall on these, that we pay them off early if the funds are so there?
We have not structured it because we don't know if the proposition will pass, but it looks like we're going to have a call provision at 10.5 years, at least the numbers that Raymond James provided. Original run for this estimate is that it'll be a call at 10.5 years, but we could ask them, and I have asked them based on the conversation that we had a week or two ago. The early call provisions are very important. It will cost a little bit more in interest if we want that early call.
So in other words,
right now the numbers are provided on these numbers and the proposed debt service. It's a 10.5-year call, which is standard.
so if we call them at 10.5 years, does that 5.27% interest go up a little, or does that stay there?
It would go up. I mean, I'm sorry, at 10.5 years, that's the number, that interest rate that's in the notice of election. If you want an 8-year call, that interest rate would go up a little bit more, or a 7-year call would go up a little bit more.
Your fees for doing all this for us, Joe, you and your company, it's inside what, the issuing expenses or inside the interest?
It's inside the cost of issue. That $300,000 is not all me by any means. It's about 50 to 65 for me, but it includes underwriter's discount. There's $25,000 for Raymond James. I think you received Larry Goldberg's proposal that he would offset his fee.
Yeah,
so they did some calculations to make certain that we ended up. It's an estimate because we don't know what the underwriter's discount would be, but I think what Raymond James ran is at about 1% for a discount for the underwriters, and then everything else, which is like $200,000, and then everything else is the professionals. Raymond James, myself, Larry's number is included in the professional fees of the $3.3 million, as well as engineering costs.
I don't have any questions for him. I mean, this is basically just a review of what we had the last time he was here.
Yeah.
It's just, it's come to date for, advertising.
Yeah, what we put in there, Jesse, what we put in there is, the added, we have the interest rates, the total cost. Of course, at $12 million, if we call early, it would not be that much. These are just estimates.
Right.
And of course, if the proposition passes and we're into September, the market's going to dictate what these numbers actually are. But understand that that we need to comply with the statutory requirements, and that's what this notice of election does.
Understand. A lot of work if it doesn't pass.
A lot of work. I hope it does. And if it doesn't pass, then we're talking about a PVC in about a year or so as to what we want to do. And then the sheriff we'll be figuring out what are we going to do, improvements to the jail, or what are we going to run it through a PVC and the like. So hopefully, and I know the sheriff's been out there educating the voters, so I feel pretty good about it. It seems like Larry Goldberg, from the correspondence that I have, and Raymond James, that I think they feel pretty good about it also. But I can't speak for them.
Joe, I do appreciate clarification on the 2 or 3 questions I had. Appreciate what you're doing for us, and hopefully everything will be very positive.
I appreciate it. It's absolutely my pleasure. And there's really, I set this up as more of an informational item as opposed to a motion to approve, because it's going to be published. So I wanted to make certain that the commissioners had a chance to understand and review, and it is kind of a repetitive process. It's what we've talked about in the past, but it is just a requirement. So I don't know, and I don't think there's actual notice. A motion that is required. It's really for informational purposes. And if there's a problem that anybody sees, please let me know so I can alert the paper. But they gave us a cutoff deadline on Friday, so we were scrambling. I thought it was today, but they gave us a deadline on Friday. So we've had a lot of, I don't know, maybe 6 different people review this. So hopefully it meets the commissioner's approval and it's going into the paper.
Didn't we approve the ballot language here a couple weeks ago? So
Yes, I believe we did.
So it's basically the same thing.
It's the same thing, it's the same ballot language, Tom, except we have more information that is what the voters, it gives as much information, the economics of the finances as best we possibly can under the statutory confines that are provided to us.
This is probably gonna be where a lot of the non-approval ones are gonna say, see, told you they're gonna raise taxes. It's right there in the paper. And so.
Well, that's why we put it twice, so that you guys, if there's a question that really, the numbers are the numbers. There's adequate surplus right now in the general fund, plus the revenues that are projected. And so if we have a little bit of a shortfall, there should be simply surplus. If we're planning for surplus to pay for whatever that shortfall will be and not have to raise taxes. But we have to state it, otherwise we're subject to a challenge at a later time, because it is a general obligation bond.
Right. Gotta give worst case scenarios.
That's what we're doomed to say, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's what we lawyers do. What's the worst case scenario?
Very true, very true. All right, well, I don't know if there's any other questions for you, Joe.
Wonderful. I really appreciate it, gentlemen. I'll be down there in a week or so. I believe a week or 2 weeks I'll be down there to visit about some of the other economic developments that we have in place.
Okay.
I look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you, drive safe.
Thanks.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Wayne's gonna be here in just a couple minutes, keep you going.
Okay. Keep us moving on.
available by phone.
Probably has court today. It's Tuesday.
Wayne's not gonna take too terribly long. I say that. Loosely.
It could be his last meeting before he retires, he may wanna.
He might string it out.
Morning.
There he is.
Good morning.
Come on up, Mr. Wayne.
All right.
That's supposed to be fine.
Sorry, just
No,
bad hearing on my part, I didn't hear anything.
no, I'll tell you what they said, Wayne shouldn't take too long, I said, well, it might be his last meeting before retirement, he may wanna punish us.
That is coming up. And yes, you will. So, yeah, you will. You're gonna get a whole stack on that day, so. I apologize. This is a contract that I have a motion for, and so I have enough for, I'll just pass them around.
This is
It's an on-call for the landfill, and something we've been talking about with Blackstone. They've been our primary consultant for this project, or for the landfill, since the development, and Bob knows that or remembers that as well. So, so I had no problem in continuing that relationship. And so, with that, that's where the motion comes from. And what this amounts to is, I visited with Wade and went over it as well, and I think we're all on the same page. It's doable. What they have is they have an annual budget of $5,000. So what that means is, without having a set guidelines, what we're wanting them to do, just be our on-call engineer. Then for landfill, this is landfill only. Then basically, if we call them up and say, hey, KDHE's requesting us to do this, what should we do? Then they have to spend any time onto it. Then what they're going to do is back here on the 4th page is that fee schedule. Then they'll basically say, well, we spent an hour onto it. It's going to cost you X amount. And that'll be part of that. But then they also go in here and they say, too, that if there's anything that basically is work that's being asked of, that we're asking them to do, then they're also going to come up and tell us, well, this is how much it's going to cost. So you're going to have an upfront cost on a particular project. So, for example, one that definitely is coming up is the annual permit that's required for the landfill. But that permit's not due until September. I'll be gone by then. So that permit will be filled out by these folks, and they're going to have also what that fee is going to be, and go with it. Right now they have, it's like $4,500 is what they're doing, but they're surveying it, they're doing an aerial photography onto it, and they're going to basically contour the whole landfill under that 45. But that's another day, another discussion, and it'd be part of that stack that I'll be visiting with you about here in 2 more weeks. And so, but this one starts that process so they could actually bill for any time that we ask of them for the landfill or questions.
So what's different than now? Because if we ask them now, they bill us anyway, right?
Well, I don't want to confuse one from the other. This one allows basically any time that we call them for any unknown work, meaning basically I call them and ask them for advice on such and such. They're going to bill by the hour.
Over and above the 5,000.
No. It's the 5,000 is just basically best guess.
Okay.
Best guess for the year.
And so when they do hourly work, it just subtracts down to the 5.
Well,
pulls that down, and once they get above that, then we actually get a bill.
Actually, the 5,000 is not even a price that you have to pay. It's not obligating you at all. All they're doing is just saying for an annual budget of on-call,
okay,
we're going to put, not knowing what that's going to consist of.
So our annual deal might be 3,000 or it might be 8.
Yeah.
5's not
It doesn't
It's
matter,
just an
yeah.
arbitrary figure.
Arbitrary
It's a dart.
budgeting number.
It's a dart and a dartboard.
Yeah, because you're gonna do all this by hourly. That's what you're gonna be doing it. The other one that is different, because I have specific guidelines what I'm wanting them to do. Then they're gonna, basically, I want them to put in a concrete, okay, I'm gonna just use this as a scenario. I want them to put in a concrete pipe. Okay, well, that's gonna cost you this. Here's the agreement, do you agree to it? And they'll have the number onto it. But in this case, not a concrete pipe, this is the annual permit, it's gonna cost you this. So it's separate from this, because this is basically just an hourly rate. The other one's more of a price bid, this is what we can do it for what you're asking of us. And so that would come back to you and say, okay, this is what we have, do you agree to it? If you agree to it, then we move on. If you don't agree to it, and you say, well, we don't want you guys to do it, we think you're too high, or adjust your price, or something like that.
This is basically a professional
On-call
services
services.
contract, and here's their hourly rates.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
That's all. it is.
estimated $5,000 a year.
Because if you didn't do this, the thing is they could bill you, but you don't have anything of record to say what the hourly rate's gonna be.
Right.
Is this a conflict with them doing our annual inspection, doing our inspection? Or is it's a benefit because they're gonna do the things that make us pass that inspection?
Well, the annual permit is not an inspection. The annual permit is basically what, you've been saving up on your budget stuff, you've been trying to save up over $5 million for the closure of the landfill.
Yeah, but we bring Blackstone in every year, they come in and do something for us.
Okay, that's a different contract. What you have there is basically the water sampling, the groundwater sampling, and also the leachate sampling. And so we have a 2-year contract, and so they're required, and our permit requires basically that these things are to be done for our permit. And so we have contracted, we had basically went out for bids a year ago. We went out for bids, and they were the low bid. They were the recommended consultant to do that work. So it's a different contract.
Okay, but is it a benefit to us by using them for an
Oh.
on-call? Because they
Yeah.
have this stuff in place?
If you want to go benefits on Blackstone, 100% benefits Blackstone continuing to work with the landfill. The principal owner of Blackstone has been also the first person for the development of our landfill. Now, he was with a different company, but he's always been with our landfill. He knows our landfill, and there is a benefit that's basically, knowledge that, you gain over time, and that's basically what he has gained, him and his company has gained over time. They know our landfill. They know our pump system. They know basically the design of the landfill. They know where the clay soil's at, all of the things that we're going to continue to do to operate the landfill. And so they are by far the company that basically you're going to benefit from that institutional knowledge. And that's what you're getting, and it's hard to put a price with it, and I guarantee they're not charging for it at this point. That institutional knowledge, they're going to know stuff that basically is going to take another person time and money to cost to get them to that point. He's going to know that, and so that's what you're gaining with Blackstone. And it is professional services. It falls within that guideline of not the bidding process, so you're allowed to do that. So the motion here would allow at least that point in which you have on-call services. Now, you can basically, all you have to do is, most contracts is always set up that you just write them a letter and say, hey, we no longer need you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And, it's kind of a 30-day type thing. So,
Can be
Yep.
null and void, both parties agree?
yes, you can terminate the contract. So, with all contracts like that.
So motion 2022-35,
Yes, sir.
based upon the recommendation of the county engineer and approval as a form by the county attorney to authorize direct the chairman to sign agreement for engineering services by Blackstone for the solid waste department due to planned retirement of county engineer.
I'll make the motion.
Tim's moved.
I'll second.
Dawn second. Any further any discussion?
You already have them do these items anyway, don't you? I mean, your engineering services don't really do much engineering on the landfill anyway, right?
No, that's not wrong. That's not correct.
I was just asking that question.
No, no, I've done everything on the landfill, other than the water sampling.
Okay.
Yeah, the water sampling goes to a lab, but everything else, the construction, all aspects of it has been done through my office, the land surveying, all of those things, so, no, we do it all,
Right.
so.
So, with that question, if we hire an on-call engineer, why couldn't we just have him do that, what you're doing, instead of hiring these to do it? Or are you?
Well,
That kinda goes back to what I said, I think these people would be a benefit to us.
that's where, I mean, the thing is, and in my retirement, basically, I wore a lot of different hats, and I did a lot of different skill sets. So, some of it was basically the civil design as far as road and bridge design, and then the other aspect was the environmental side of it, which was also the landfill. One of the things I had, since you opened the door, one of the things I had was basically the challenge of landfill. Landfill basically put all the engineering that I ever done in school and put it together in this one project. You're dealing with a lot of different things. If there's one thing that's basically going to get you in trouble, the landfill will. Because their book is like this thick of all the rules and regulations that go with it. And those are the things that I did. And what you have here with Blackstone is they know that book.
Okay.
I did it over the years that I have been at the county. But they know that book. So now if you take another consultant firm and you say, okay, can you guys do this? Instead of having multiple on-call type services, what you're going to find is that company, you won't be dealing with that engineer. You're going to be dealing with somebody in that department that's an environmentalist or geologist. And then what you're going to do there is you're going to be working with them, which do not have the knowledge of our landfill.
Okay.
And that's the key.
It'll take hundreds of thousands of dollars to bring them up to speed to where these people are.
They'd have to start from the permit itself, and I have multiple books, shelves of the landfill, operation, design, all of those things was available to me and to get up to speed. But now you're going to also try to get that to a consultant engineer that does not know our landfill, and then they're going to have all that information too, which is going to cost you their time to be able to do it, as this guy already knows it.
Right. Any further discussion?
Answered my question.
Answered your question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Guarantee it. I wouldn't bring it to you if it wasn't something that we needed to do to continue operations, so.
And I just want to get it straight in my mind.
Yeah.
Where we're headed.
And you've
No,
got
we did all the,
contract.
there's a yeah, you can sign any one of
You want me to sign one of these?
Yes.
Do we need more than one signature?
No, that's fine, just yours, it's, for the chairman. No, we basically, we redone the boundary survey onto it, I did cell 3 and cell 4 as far as the construction. Re-benchmarked everything, and then all the annual permits, I've been doing all the annual permits, since I've been here, and so. And we also did the pumps too. One set of pumps, we redid the pumps onto it. Oh, we also did the building, and then also we did that convenience center too, right? Yeah, so.
Is this for Jeffrey to print and sign this?
Yes,
You can fill in them.
yes,
So
yeah.
just print and sign.
Yeah, just print and sign there, and I'll fill out the rest.
And you only need the one copy?
Yeah, that would be fine. I'll make sure that you guys get a copy of it after we're done. So, Angie get a copy, and you can get a copy as well. All right. The thing else I have is, Jeff is very up on what's going on, day-to-day stuff. I've been real busy with, that bridge and then Old Highway 50, project. So, if you'd like, I think Jeff would give a better report on some, construction zone things that's going on, and then some of the talking points of, where we're at with our dust control, chip seal, and bridge opening, so. Throw it to Jeff.
I don't have much, just an update on dust control. It was completed last Thursday. We did have an issue in Leroy with the first 10 we did. There's a 20% chance of rain that morning. We was itching to get started. I told them to go. They went, and then it rained, I don't know how much. So, was able to go back to those first 10. Like I said, down the Leroy area. We went down the middle 8 feet and redone that, because you can see in some of them.
The rain buried so much in that area, it could've been a half inch, could've been an inch, I mean, it was all over the boat.
Everything was so fresh though, then that stuff went off, now we're killing grass in people's yards and ditches, and so got a little bit of that to deal with maybe this fall, but, done. It happened, and wish it didn't, but it did. Hopefully, hope to start chip sealing by mid next week, 18th at the latest. Really hoping mid next week. We'll see how that goes. If you guys didn't know, the Lyon County Bridge is open by the APAC Quarry. It did finally open up last Friday, and our road closed on 16th between K and L. It appears from what I see this morning that maybe tomorrow we'll have that one back. We've got some guys cleaning debris, hopefully today, and we'll sweep it and get it back open if the water comes off. That's really all I have for updates. I did call you, I was in here about a truck that didn't meet our needs. It was whatever it pulled was corrosive, and you can tell the truck was really rusty. It's a needle in a haystack we're looking for, so we'll continue looking. We looked at a couple of freight liners online this morning that the company sent me. Not gonna work, so we'll continue that process.
Did you get your sign truck back?
No, we'll be waiting till, I think they told me the 14th. The pump, the power takeoff pump and the controller is not shipped to set until around the 14th, I think. So, sitting there, ready to go except for that, my understanding. So, I don't feel too, we're less than 6 months removed from that fire, so I don't feel like we're doing too bad since we got a dump truck that we ordered in May of 2021, and we're still waiting. So it has been built and moved to the bed installers, so we're getting close there.
On your future purchases of trucks, will you run tall 24/5s?
I believe so, yes.
You've heard the big 4 or 5 has discontinued.
The low profile. The low
all
profile.
24/5.
And I guess
you can get your tier 3s, your not so good ones. They're available in 24/5, but your big Firestone, Bridgestone, Goodyear, Yoke, all those are discontinuing the 24/5 manufacturing at this time. So I don't know if maybe Personnel starts speccing some tall 22/5s on your next trucks, so you can find tires.
I'll look into it. Tire sizes are so foreign to me, and there's so many of them. I did have a conversation with Barr just a week or two ago and asked him, and he said right now he can get about anything we want still. I just can't be specific on the brand. If I lessen my expectations of a Michelin and maybe maybe tier 3 tires.
Double nickel or double coin or something like that.
I don't know. So that could run into a problem for us if that's what we got. Because that means we'll be buying a lot of rims too.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't change out. I would run them until you're getting rid of the truck. But
we do a lot of recaps on our virgin rubber on the drivers, not the fronts.
But your carcasses, you're
not going to have any
You're not going to have any good carcasses to
recap,
so that's going to do away with your recap program.
Right, it's going to do away with a lot of stuff. So, yeah.
it's a trickle-down effect,
I'll check into that, I'll make sure Craig's aware of it, so,
just FYI.
no, thank you, so, strange world.
Jeff, I traveled Interstate 50 last Thursday. You know, the way they got that Highway 50 cut off. I didn't see one soft spot, you know, on the 20 or 22 or 24 feet, whatever there is. I didn't see one soft spot
On Old Highway 50?
on the whole Highway 50.
Interstate,
It's bad.
you calling that interstate?
I did say interstate.
Yeah.
Interstate 50.
It probably was an interstate when he was a young man.
It's an interstate now compared to what it probably would have been, but, you know, they got that all cut off, and I didn't see one soft spot on the drivable 20 feet or 22 feet.
On, from like Fauna to 75?
From 75 to Fauna.
Right, and we just finished,
I'll tell you what, it looks good. Now, how well it stands up, I don't know, but
we just finished,
I did meet a semi carrying 6x5 bales. It was 10 or 11 feet wide.
a little narrow.
A little narrow for stuff like
Yeah,
that.
we did just, Ryan,
So that's a little bit of an issue there.
we just got them shoulders pulled up, which made a big help, because we were,
Shorter look good.
we were having some issues there, finally got around to that, so.
Since you moved the lines back on the west from Fauna to Angus, since you moved the lines back, there's still some pop-outs, but it's
Not as
as
bad, and yeah, those will definitely have to be addressed, we're just so busy with shipping and everything.
I didn't go any further.
Right, yeah, there'll be some places need addressed, definitely by fall. That's all I got, unless you got any questions.
I don't think we have anything.
Okay.
All good. Wayne's all done?
Yeah.
That was painless, Wayne.
Yeah, wait until I come back.
Have a good week.
All right, you too.
Take a 10-minute break. Everybody happy with that?
That'll work.
Go ahead, Bob. Get it. My knee working. How are you this morning?
Good, how are
Did you have a good board?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I forgot to shoot off any fireworks with my daughter, so I'm gonna do a few things, but she's only one.
Oh, yeah.
Just the popper.
Just the
Nothing.
Nothing big.
Did you get what you wanted or needed?
I got what you want, yeah.
I've done like 4 or 5 of them with you, and I was used to seeing that myself, and I was looking for it.
We'll go in and do.
I'll make sure next time we have one, I'll make one up first off of that, so something like that, with the communication.
Welcome to go visit the cafe and diner down in the third floor.
$1, so the guys are another $10.
Good, how are you?
Drove around, make sure.
Yeah, for sure. I was on vacation. Friday, and then I got your mom all, yeah, man. That's crazy. No, we won't do much. No, I didn't even get it out. to do my other job. Cameron's got me running all over Eastern Kansas, taking pictures of, you know what? That's pretty cool, right? What was that line control? Counting away for empty number. Yeah. Popping up pictures. Did you go to the fireworks show last night? Were you there? I was there for, I went too early. I got there around 6:30, man, and I just, we waited. Went down there and paid? Yeah. Over it before the fireworks started? We were gonna go 6:30 and then, along the way, 7:30. Yeah, okay. I should have done that. We should probably have or something, kill some time. Please get there first. I gotta come visit you today. I hope I don't fly out of here. I need it. How much is it? Another big Monday. What's the fireworks? What time we go break?
10:07. You have 5 more minutes.
It's a loan, it's not a, okay. It's a loan.
That's good, we didn't move it next week. I was gonna tell Tom, I was gonna call the mow crew, tell them we were gonna not mow the lot till next week too. Oh, Burlington Construction lot down there, the guys were mowing it, when we were in there last time, I was gonna tease you, like, we're moving to next week, I was like, how do we tell the guys, we can't mow the yard till next week. Hey, Bob.
I'm all right, fine, how you doing?
Hi, Bobby. That's why I can't sit in here, Tim, I'd say stuff like that all the time, it would be good. Plus, I listen, I'm telling you, as a little kid, every day I get home from school and there'd be somebody complaining on the answering machine. Today,
No.
usually it was Linda Kistner, but she'd say, I can still picture in my head, she'd go, Mr. Commissioner, my notebook is full, so it would say like every time, please give me a call.
It's a little different.
Everybody's generally agreed with this one.
Yeah.
No big thing.
Hopefully.
Just try to look it from, yeah. In that regard, I haven't done these. Yeah, exactly.
We need to see you for something.
What do you do?
Yeah.
14,000 miles?
Yep.
New tranny on the way. How long wait? Last one was 6 months.
Yeah.
They better get the mowing, they're not ready.
But there's no problem. The service manager told me that he's only replaced 4. I guess we've been lucky. We've had 2 of them. 2 or 4.
You gotta get us all the paper for Thursday or something tomorrow night?
That's frustrating.
Goose and printers tonight. I'm sorry? Goose and printers tonight. Big money to be spent on birthday. $10 minutes up.
A minute and a half.
You got a minute and a half left?
I sat down, so I wanted to grab a cup of coffee.
Well, they're hammering the grain markets today too.
Ooh.
Okay.
Beans are down $2.50 for
Okay,
4 weeks
Joe's
ago.
got control of it.
$2.50.
I stopped looking at all that stuff.
Just keep your head down and keep paying taxes.
Can't even say it with a straight face.
I can't. My poker face is gone.
Biden says we're in good shape.
I heard the state collected a way more, 30 million more than what they anticipated or something like that in taxes.
State
I
accounts?
think, I think for.
Correct. It was actually like,
31.
it was almost $1 billion.
But
Oh, really?
it's over $1 billion for the annual.
Wow.
It's unreal.
That's what sadly led to their decision to abate the sales tax on grocery sales, which is the fear with all the real conservatives is that it will end up biting us in the butt in the long term.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it doesn't. All right, Heidi, I guess we'll start the 10:15. Or the 9:05.
Yeah. Hey, Don, you need all those?
Yeah, pass for stuff now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I didn't realize.
You're good.
I didn't realize
I
it was
don't
all
think
there
he heard
together.
me. I probably didn't say it very loud, sorry about that.
Y'all gonna have to step me through this, cause this is my first time doing this.
So go to call to order items down at the, near
Do
the
we have
bottom.
to turn in our meeting note and come into this?
I don't know the answer to
That's
that.
what
Yeah,
we've done in the
we have to
past.
enter into, we have to enter
Yeah,
into
we gotta adjourn
your
our
zoning
meeting,
hearing.
but I don't know the exact wording.
Do we shut it off?
No, we
We still
recess
record.
our meeting,
Recess our meeting.
regular meeting, and we go into
Okay.
the zoning hearing, which is number something here.
Board of Coffee County Commissioners will, recess our commission meeting and enter into a, hearing, special use, case number SU 2022-01.
I think we have to have a motion to enter into
Oh.
the hearing.
Need a motion to enter into a hearing.
I'll second.
Tom's moved, Don seconded, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. I call agenda item number, is that the 2022-01?
Whatever number you're at in your commission meeting, so like is this number 5, 6?
Oh,
Whatever.
they're not numbered.
Oh, well, that's what that's asking
Okay.
for, so.
Probably be number 6
Yeah,
now.
either-
Five, be five.
Five, I think.
I call
I think
it
it's 5.
Item agenda number 5, which is a consideration of case number SU 2022-01. A privately owned metal building with living quarters to be used seasonally for lodging for customers and used privately in the off-season. Oh, as a special use in A1 Agriculture District. We gotta read the disqualifying,
Yes.
disqualification declared and quorum determination. Before we proceed with consideration of this case, I ask the governing body members, if any, of them intended to disqualify themselves from participating in this discussion because they or their relative owned property in the official notification area, or they have a conflict of interest or particular bias in this matter.
No.
No.
No one has disqualified themselves. I declare we have a quorum. 5. Present for the consideration of this case. Protest petitions. Has the county clerk received any protest petitions on the case?
I can ask you.
I like it much better than having this.
No. She has not received any.
No protest petitions have been received. All that's if yes. Skip down to summary of hearing. I asked the governing body members if they have all received copies of the
Unapproved, sorry about that.
unapproved minutes of the planning board meeting for June 15th, 2022, which summarizes the public hearing on the case.
These are in there.
We have received.
We've got copies.
We have received. Having determined that the members have received the minutes of the planning board meeting, we will proceed in the case. The governing body will first hear from the zoning administrator, then the applicant, and members of the public will be asked if there is any new information on this case. Commission members may choose to ask questions of the zoning administrator and applicant, county staff, and the public. Zoning administrator's report. I call on zoning administrator Heidi Harris to provide us with a report on the case and the recommendations of the planning board.
Okay, so on June 15th, 2022, the Coffee County Planning Board met and they reviewed case SU 2022-01. They went ahead and did a motion for a recommendation for approval, and they placed 3 conditions on the case. The first condition they placed was the applicant and agent will follow the recommendation of the sanitation officer for all requirements according to the Coffee County Sanitation Code. 2, when Travis and Diamond Sipe are no longer using the property for a privately owned metal building with living quarters to be used seasonally for lodging for customers and used privately in the off-season, and the old church for storage, the special use will be null and void after 30 days unless the new landowner goes through the zoning process to continue this use. And the last condition they placed was require the agent and landowners to submit an activities restriction form that includes discharging of firearms, music and noise levels, off-road vehicles operating in consideration of surrounding agricultural uses, and violations of these rules will result in a loss of privileges and being asked to leave. The case booklet here is what they went through that night. If you want me to go through it, I can. Just let me know. So.
To clarify, 3, asked to loss of privileges, that will be up to the owner to dismiss them?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So it would be, Travis, I believe, is the one that operates the business, is what we were told. So he'd be the one that have to enforce that. So if they were getting, violated those rules, then he'd have to ask them to leave. Or lose privileges, whichever one he felt was necessary at the time.
At what time does it fall back upon the county if, let's just say that Travis had Billy out there on the side by side and he was driving through Jason Farmer's field, you know, so Travis tells Jimmy or Billy, you know, hey, you gotta leave, you know. When does the county have say in saying, okay, Travis, this is not working out. We've had so many complaints, you know, of this and this, and when do we have the authority to go back and revoke? Or do we have the authority to go back and revoke his special use?
So what the planning board had said that night was they told that there were some landowners that were aggrieved by what was going on, and they told them that we'd have to have a sheriff's report, so we'd know what was going on, and then it would be determined by you guys how many times we'd let that go. So we don't have a definite, it's 3 times and it's over kind of thing. But that's what your board had told the landowners around it to combat the situation.
Basically, all this does is it requires that Travis submit an activity restriction form to them so that they will know what's going on. And
Correct.
however he has to handle it from there, that's his call.
Okay. Answers my question. Let's see. So is this, I guess there is no, just has to follow the sanitation?
That's our normal condition we place on all special use cases, so yeah. So once they start the system, then whatever she says would have to work, he'd have to comply with that.
And you have at least 5 acres.
Yes, there's, was it 6.5?
5.9.
5.95 is what I read
That's
over the
what I
weekend.
Back to my cheat sheet. Written communications. Are there any written communications or petitions from the public? We've done asked that, did we not?
Yeah, we're at the top of the next page, I think, Jeff.
Applicant's presentation. Does applicant wish to present any new information? Are there any questions? Are there any questions to the applicant from the governing body? Okay, step 1.
So I don't really have any comment. I guess I'll answer any questions you guys have.
If you go to that second one, I guess Travis has asked, and maybe this is Heidi, and I don't think this is a red flag. There was 5 of the 9 members of the committee was at the hearing. The one abstained, so it was 4-0. Does that create an issue to where we don't have a majority?
We had a majority.
No, you had a majority. You had a member disqualify themselves during the hearing.
Okay, that creates a majority,
Yes, sir.
even though he had abstained from voting.
In the bylaws of the county
Okay.
planning board, it states that he's still part of the quorum, he just
So I
can't vote.
didn't want something to backfire on us later. Okay.
Are there any questions to the applicant from the governing body members?
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
Public comment. Does anyone in the public wish to respond to the applicant's information or provide new information on this case? Not otherwise presented in the, at the planning board's public hearing that should be brought to the attention of the governing body. Please raise and give your name and address. Hearing none. Applicant's final response. Does the applicant have any further response to the public comments or any closing remarks?
No, I don't. Thanks for your time.
Any commission questions?
Out here.
How are we doing today? Good. How are you? Good. I thought you were tired.
The Board of County Commissioners deliberation, assuming the governing body has received all the information they need on this case, I will outline the choices provided under the state statute of the governing body action. As I roll through this, each case will need to be acted upon separately. Number 1, approve. By the majority vote, move to adopt the findings and factors and recommendation of the planning board case number SU 2022-01. And approve resolution number 886. Is that the right resolution number?
Yes, the
Yeah,
one
it's
last week
885.
was
Was
885.
885 last week.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second it.
Yeah.
Bob moved. Tom seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
That eliminates the rest of that part.
Then if you'll just go to closing remarks, please.
Right, I mean, that's.
I think by now, we just have to read this closing deal down below, don't we, Bob?
Yeah, just
For approval.
approval.
Persons that, gonna have to help me with that.
Agreed?
Aggrieved, persons aggrieved by the final discussion of the governing body on this matter have 30 days after the
Effectuating?
effectuating
There's a big word.
resolution is published within which to appeal to district court. And then we go down to, we want to thank you all for participating. Oh, we still got it. Oh, for disapproval.
No.
Nope.
Just read approval, because
Okay.
you
We-
didn't disapprove it.
We
Yeah.
approved it.
You approved
Okay.
it, so just read the top
We
one.
want to thank all of you for participating in the discussion of this case. You are welcome to stay for the remainder of our meeting.
And I'll have the resolution right here. There's 3 copies for you guys to sign and read.
Okay.
Now you call for agenda item 6.
Now we'll call for agenda item 6. We will have to, go over to our,
You guys want to keep your book?
no ma'am, recycle.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Good luck.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, so we start with the top. Yeah, you can do your duty. Said we need 3 signatures. Sign on top of your name. Above your name, I guess I should say.
Looks good.
Poking with a pen.
Judge, do we have to close as zoning?
Yes, we will adjourn our hearing and proceed as Coffee County. One of those lost a paper clip, didn't it?
I think it just had all 3 of them clipped together, I think. Well, maybe it didn't.
Yeah. Now we need to let the minutes reflect that we adjourned as the hearing board of the zoning and planning and resume our county commission meeting at 10:35. And we'll call on Mr. Bobby Skipper, Economic Development.
Yes, sir. I would like to ask the commissioners to enter into an executive session for the purpose of discussing land acquisition, for, what do I have, 20 minutes?
There's no time.
Well, 10:15 to 10:45.
Yeah.
That's 30 minutes. You need 30.
I believe you, yes, sir.
Okay.
Do you wanna reverse
Do we
that,
wanna
get the
reverse
other one-
this?
Get the other one over with?
Get the other one out of the way?
Yeah, that'd be good.
How much time you need for the
RLF?
RLF? You need 20 minutes?
You got 20 sitting here.
I would, yes, sir, I'd say 20 minutes. And so I would ask the commissioners, instead, to move to the agenda item, concerning our RLF loan hearing. In attendance would be the commissioners, Mr. Jeremy Huganen, and myself. Attorney's not required, this is just a loan review, to discuss the loan, a proposed loan.
So,
I'll make the motion.
Don's moved to enter into executive session for 20 minutes.
You can second it.
I'll second it.
Yeah.
Tim second, to include Bobby, Skipper, Jeremy Huckabee, and the board,
And I'll excuse myself.
and, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Not opposing, just
You
recusing.
just not opposing to them.
Okay. We will enter at 10:39. Enter at 10:39 for 20 minutes, right?
Yes, sir.
Straighten things out here. Economic Development, Bobby Skipper, executive session, land acquisition.
Yes, sir. I would like to ask commissioners to go into an executive session to discuss land acquisition. Again, I'm not gonna ask for any action on this item. Today, there's no reason for the attorney to be there unless you prefer him to. So I would ask the commissioners and myself to go into an executive session for the purpose of discussion of land acquisition for 30 minutes.
also move, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to go into executive session, 30 minutes, the board and Bobby Skipper. Don's moved,
I'll second.
Tom second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll go in at 11:04 for 30 minutes. And I don't need my pen.
Something to my round table.
Yeah, we're going back down there.
Oh, you are?
We won't be here for long. So you want to move and extend it for that towards the end of the day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now your 11:05 agenda. Motion? Is there a motion?
For
Approved chairman to sign mortgage agreement?
No, sir. I was gonna wait for Wade to be here to go through that, and we're not ready. I was anticipating I would have been able to do the final punch list items on the construction piece, which would make sure that we don't have any outstanding extra money. What I provide to the commissioners in this final mortgage instrument, I hope would be finite. You'd have exactly the numbers that we're gonna be at. So, but we're not there yet. And, so next week I might come back
so that was off the board.
Yes, sir.
So basically, that concludes our agenda. If you want to extend our last executive session terminology for however long.
I'd like to ask the commissioners to go back into an executive session for another 20 minutes for the purpose of discussion land acquisition. Commissioners and myself.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, hold on, let me get my time set. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. We'll go in 20-minute executive session at 11:40.
Not even evenly, no. What happened? Okay, now I gotta run down and print off something.
Okay.
Am I?
Old J Mouth.
He had to stop at the boys' room. Well, that concludes our agenda for the day. You got any more road and bridge applications?
Nope.
Why not?
I don't know. I haven't even seen anybody else come in and pick up an application or anything. Here recently, anyway. Unless they do it when I'm out or at lunch.
You should have told me. I
need to exercise.
This Thursday's Burlington's meeting at the library.
Oh, is it?
That's what I have written. Last two are left are Burlington and New Strong, correct?
Which one of them got moved?
New Strong.
New Strong.
To the 28th.
We went through that last week.
New Strong did go to the 28th.
That's what I have written.
Can you just bring me a donut, Tim? I'm not a vote for you anyway, so I can't vote.
I can bring you a donut. Yeah, it may be a couple of days
Maybe
old.
a little dried out then.
New store in Emporia, Durham. Durham is open now. Guns and ammo. And
Where?
in Emporia at the mall.
That new sporting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where Penny's used to be.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
They have their big grand opening, I think, next week.
Oh, do they?
Yep.
Did I say it? Is it Dunham or Durham? Dunham.
I think it's Dunham.
I think it's Dunham. I seen a sign or something. I think it's Dunham.
Looks pretty nice.
It's inside the old Flint Hill Mall.
Mm-hmm. It's where Penny's used to be.
I'll check it out. Yesterday morning, I was about 60 around the 9 millimeters, so I need to stop back up.
Yeah, because after this deal over the fourth, I guarantee you there's gonna be some feedback on that. I hate to listen to the news broadcasters, boy, they get on that stuff, and then they start saying some of the dumbest things, and interviewing people and asking some of the dumbest questions, and they they don't report the news, they don't report their opinion.
A lot of opinions on there.
My dad has switched to just watching the Weather Channel and Westerns.
Well, the Weather Channel's
pretty-
not always accurate either.
That's pretty much all that he ever is watching whenever I call him.
But the Westerns are good.
Yeah.
And even the weather's slanted anymore.
That just struck me a little bit.
You know that the percentage of rain that they predict is not the percentage chance of rain, it's a certain area.
The area.
And then it's a percentage of that area that might get it.
Might get it.
It's not a it's quite a.
Yeah, we just signed it.
That's where you come up with Christmas in July.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look that up?
Are we down to some stuff otherwise?
Yeah, that's all we got
On
left.
your calendar.
Because now I have another thing, the lawnmower died, and it's not just.
I'm gonna get in the habit of looking those up when I
Nice.
get spare time.
Yeah.
You can either visit family and friends or sacrifice a sheep, goat, camel, or cow.
I'll do the cow.
Both sides, Dawn.
Odds of a recession now appear greater than 50-50.
You think?
That's what it says right here in this paper.
I'd say we're about as recessed as we can get. This is the flood deal. You just take that down to Amber if you don't mind.
Here you go, Tim, the new law will give the federal
Yeah,
government more oversight on ocean shipping.
Thought only judges were honorable. Dan, do you have anything for roundtable?
Nope.
I don't know if Wade's, I'm sure he's in court all day.
How all these electric vehicles gonna work for the military?
Not gonna work out very well.
Yeah.
You'll take a recess while they charge.
Can we stop this war?
They got a different signature page on this, Andrew. Do we need to sign pages like that now?
Did that come, was that Road and Bridge?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that I haven't seen, but so I'm.
Got a different format to it.
Why would they be changing it?
I don't know. But these pages in this folder's got a different format.
Can't we all use the same format?
Like they just had the printer on landscape instead of portrait, or however that is.
I'll let you look at it while I'm see.
Wade doesn't have anything for round table. There's none on there, so there's a signature tab over there, right here.
That's all the ones in that one.
I think it
Oh, there's some more.
Oh, was there some more there?
I bet there's one for every clip there.
Yep. I got there.
Those checks are in this folder. And everything here. The only reason that's on there was because there was more. If you're not discussing any individuals, it can be an open session. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it's not anything about individuals, it can be an open session. You made it to the end. Yeah. We thought there was 2 pages in there to sign, there's probably 25.
20, yeah. I got marked down at Wolf Creek Drill on the 20th.
Yep. Those were on that clip here. Yep, on Wednesday the 20th and then the 31st of August.
This gonna be a scenario again like we had last time?
It just says it's a free exercise, what they told us to start with.
Will be what?
Like we had last
It'll be
time?
basically the same thing.
You know, 2 weeks ago, Andrew, I don't know whether you sent it out, at a Rotary meeting at noon, Jerry Moran's gonna be there to Baptist Church. I didn't respond. Is any of the commission going to that?
He's not there anymore. He's
I'm
not
sorry?
coming. He's not coming.
It's been canceled?
Andrew, that doesn't do a lot of good.
Is it jammed or is it?
Out of state.
Nothing in it.
Me and Dawn's got a few. I don't have any.
I don't like staples anyway, I just, the other day, for some reason, I
I'd
did
rather
that,
have
and
staples.
there was nothing in it.
I'd rather have staples on stuff than the paper clips. Paper clips
Not me.
get binding too many things together.
Paper clips never have gone into my fingers, a lot of staples have.
And then we try to remove the staples and rip the paper but I'll go.
When we gotta do the budget stuff?
Looking at last year's, it was mid-July when there were a couple of work sessions.
Mid-July. When, you heard anything on when the auditor's gonna come back in? I haven't talked to Phil, I haven't talked to Phil in several months.
And that all goes to the clerk's office, and then I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can answer you when she gets.
I think last year he was in.
I wanna say it was right after, there were
Mid-July.
2 work sessions, and then the auditor
Then
was.
Then he would come in, and
Yeah.
because we will have stuff, and he'll tell us whether we can do it or not.
No, it was separate.
Was it? All right.
For some reason.
I'll keep it separate.
Be interesting where that revenue sharing rate falls in at this year.
I'm just looking at the calendar, I don't know when we're gonna have very many work sessions
For what?
for the budget.
Usually Mondays.
Zoom in the afternoon.
Really, it's not gonna take near as much time as you think. So we just go through them, and you either approve them or you disapprove them. If you disapprove them, then you say, okay, let's get some information on this, and you may only end up with 5 or 6 that you need information on. It's not as complicated as it could be.
So far, we only had one that was any questions on, I think that's all been clarified, so.
And it was one we had to approve anyway, no matter what, as long as they were within their boundaries, and they were. But it was nice to know.
Mhm.
Tim, we're always waiting on you.
I know.
Last name.
Do we wanna set up interviews on the 25th and 27th? 3 and 2?
I think let's just wait. We said we're gonna wait till 11th before we did anything. Let's wait and just see.
Till the 11th?
By chance, someone else comes in.
Okay, 11th of July is the end of the That one we're
Yeah.
calling?
When we decided we would do something,
Okay.
and then, well, hopefully, maybe, we don't know, maybe others come in.
You think if there's interest out there, they'd already do it. They had 2 months on it.
How many more do we have now?
Just 42, which says, and that's the auction that we did with the smaller one.
Is there something wrong with the one we have?
It finally died, the engine and everything, and it is, so yeah, Barb got stranded in it, headed to go do the old gas station, and she got picked up by Road and Bridge, and the machine is, it would cost more even if they could get the parts for that machine, that they probably can't get, but she went out to the Honda shop here, see about a new one, and yeah, these are cheaper than parts that probably aren't even available for the old machine that she's had.
Is it the old Husqvarna?
I think that is, yeah. The Road and Bridge came and got her. And broke
Bridge
down.
user?
Yeah.
What was she gonna mow at the old?
Yeah, that old gas station we have to mow now, they do.
It's just dirt.
It's all dirt.
We have the curb, when I called the city to ask if it needed mowing, and they said, yeah, that's ours to mow, because that's our property, so we have to maintain.
It doesn't look
Sidewalk
like,
to the curb.
it doesn't look like it's seeded.
Sidewalk to the curb.
Well, no, it's not seeded, you're out of seeding season, so.
Sure looks smooth though, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Sure looks nice and, so.
Mike done a fantastic job of getting that done.
That's the heavier duty version, but hopefully we'll have something different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in a box, and they would put it together and
Yeah.
deliver it.
Yeah. Those are rear discharge now. Nope, that one wasn't.
Is there a dealer for that in Coffee County?
Mhm. That's the Honda in Houston. Sorry, yeah, that Honda dealership on 75.
They have them in stock.
So they do have that one in stock and would put it together and deliver it here.
I got 72-inch. It mows a lot of grass. Headed for 104 the next one. Cutting the mow time in half. $104 rear discharge.
And what's that powered with?
You plan on bailing it when you're done?
32-inch, 32 horse.
32 horse diesel?
Yep. I think that might be a 40 horse diesel.
Is it,
I haven't, my gas one's, I think 32, I think. Gas.
Detroit?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. All right, we're round table. Wade said he didn't have anything. And I guess Angie doesn't have anything.
I don't.
Tim doesn't have any new news. Tom?
Landscaping around the courthouse from the waterproofing. Barb takes pride in her work. Her and I walked through it this morning. I don't know what you guys thinking, but my thinking is that the waterproofing followed a bottom of brick elevation, if you will, from point A to point B around, and the ground drops and this and that and the other quite a bit. I don't know. She'd spoke to a company about a little curb machine deal. I know it's probably on Andrea's deal, but just.
This is the information if anyone did Kansas borders.
But, to my knowledge, his curb just matches the lay of the land. And I'm not sure we wanna go that route, so I'm just bringing it up to where maybe when you leave today or get a chance to take a look, see what anybody else is thinking on this too, but I don't think we just wanna match the lay of the land. I just wondering about keeping something basically a certain elevation all the way around, and then, you know, Andrea spoke to DC Solutions about putting decorative rock on top of their rock. It's not gonna void the warranty or anything, because it's clean rock, it's just cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But is the water solution cut?
I don't think we got it fixed,
I
do
don't
we?
think it's fixed yet.
Well, we haven't found out yet the fix that they've been out here to fix, and that's when I was talking to the gentleman with this company and said if we have to have them back out here to do any more work in their digging, would it affect anything that they did? He said it shouldn't because it's far enough out, but I was like, if we were to the point where we had to cut into the concrete border that they did, and he said it's possible, but if it was years from now, you're gonna have discoloration in a piece that they fixed versus.
Fade.
And I agree, we're not 100% sure, but it's still, when we're done, I mean, what's anybody's ideas, thoughts, whatever.
That north side looks pretty bad at times.
And even the east side over here where it gets to that last window, it dips down.
A lot of reason why the water comes back in on us, I think.
Wondered that myself.
I think we need to be cutting from the building to the sidewalk. I think we need to cut.
Actually, if you stand and look even on the east side, from the sidewalk to the curb, it's
Mhm.
like that.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that water has to run straight north down that sidewalk to the street.
Or this way.
But whether the water runs away or not, there's still a reason why it comes through the wall.
Right.
So,
And I
think we
agree.
need to fix that, and I'm totally fine with getting somebody afterwards, but I think we need to fix that before it's tore up, and let's get it fixed before we fix it and tear it up again.
I don't recall, did they put any fiberglass or any material coating on the wall when they had that all tore out?
From what I noticed, it was just like a rubber membrane, so to speak.
Kind of rubberized membrane?
And we have
Which
tried to
is
get in touch
standard.
with some local companies too, who just don't have time. We've looked at some other landscaping type,
Where are they out of?
Linden.
But again, it's a machine, and it just kind of matches lay of land. I've seen a lot of what he does. It's wonderful stuff. But I'm just.
I think we need to have it level.
Yeah.
As level as
We have some local landscapers here in the county.
And if you have names or people, because we've tried for as far as like Straughters and Daughters and our Schellers, our landscaping company, neither have time right now to.
Should answer that question.
Jurassic
And we still want to be.
I vote on that one.
I would.
Jurassic landscaping.
No. Good not getting out there with a rake.
I'll make up some advertisements and start
There we
posting.
go.
them.
Got a shovel
all alone, yeah.
Bob's retirement business
Yeah.
right there.
No. I was thinking of Straughters and Daughters at the time, and, one guy that did some mowing, wasn't he kind of a landscaping business? That did some mowing for us,
The county, doing the county cemetery mowing?
Baker or whatever his name was.
I don't know who that is.
I think it's just Baker Mowing Service or whatever, I don't know, whatever.
Tom, you got anything else?
No, just, again, I agree with Bob that we need to make sure that that's 100% remedied first.
Yeah.
At the same token, we need to be planning what we're gonna do, so.
Cause even now, even if we were to say yes to this today, they're about 6 weeks out.
Mhm. And we don't know when they're gonna come back to check the basement or the,
Well, they have been back, that was last week, the 24th, June 20th.
so what did they do?
They did some more sealing around the window, cause they couldn't find anything else, they couldn't find anything, any reason that anything was leaking.
I bet they're gonna have to come back and dig it out and redo the wall.
They ought to be coming back when the water is running through the wall.
That's when they need to be, yeah.
But it's hard to open a
But
hole.
having, there's a chance of rain every night this week.
Or take the hose, that's how I found my leak.
Yeah.
So there we
Put the
go.
hose
Have
down
Barb
there.
run some water down there where the garden is for a while.
Mhm. Fire hydrant, tip the fire hydrant for a
Right, right.
I don't have anything.
Bob, you don't got
I
anything?
don't have anything.
Don?
I don't either, Jesse.
Had our meeting at Lebo, like there was, Don was there, and there was a total of 9 bodies from the community there. So, good presentation, first one I was able to set in. There was a couple questions, you know.
There was some good questions from two of the ladies that was there.
Yeah, 2 of the ladies did very, very well.
There's some good.
One of them was, why you having it turn primary, I think is what he said, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the man that asked that
Yeah.
question. Why do it at a primary when there's not as many voters as there will be at a general election?
Why not? Everybody can go to the primary too.
Yep, everybody's got the right to go. That's kind of the way Tom handled it. You know, everybody's got the same right to go to primary that do the generals.
Yeah.
Get out and vote.
Yeah, to my knowledge, I don't think I have anything. I really don't. I did speak with, Jeff about that truck here a while back down in Springfield. It wasn't no good. Actually, it was a pretty quiet week, actually, from the last time we met. I don't have anything else. Andrew?
Well, I guess the first thing now would be the mower, since we don't have a riding lawnmower anymore. This is the Honda, Coffee County Honda dealership, the 42-inch mower that they have on hand for $3,130 that they could put together and deliver.
3-year, 300-hour residential warranty. Are we residential?
Oh,
She's not mowing acres, so.
what about motorsports? Isn't it Newstron Motorsports? Don't
The
we?
same one.
Is that,
Honda.
is that them?
Yeah.
Honda. Yeah,
That's who they are?
they sell the Hustler.
Okay, so they go by that also then. Cause I know we had sent some checks to them and I don't know who they are, but, okay.
They moved up here out of Iowa, here 6-8 years. For
10
that
or
Honda
12 10
dealership.
or 12 years ago.
Yeah, probably had been, Bob.
It has been.
18
Or
horse.
longer,
An 18
It's
horse.
been a while.
been longer, hadn't it, Mark?
They're running Culvers
And they
now.
suggested to Barb the heavier duty for our
Yeah.
use over at the church too, because it's pretty hard on the mower.
Yeah. Well, they're running Kawasaki motors in them now.
Right? That's why I bought a Culver.
Yep.
Every day.
One on the right's the proposed one, heavier duty, I guess.
Tim mentioned Bumgardners, I mean, they,
I don't know what they sell for
but-
mowers.
this
Think
is
they do,
more,
but I'm not
for sure more local though.
Yeah, at least it does stay
Yeah.
100% coffee.
He lives in Coffee County, the whole Schmier.
Yeah.
There's several people in Leroy's got a Hustler. I haven't heard one thing bad about the Hustler. Everybody's really pleased with it.
Which one are you looking at?
The far right.
The far right,
That's what they recommended to Barb for the heavy duty.
42 inch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of our
You
mowing
can
is.
get too big.
That's what,
And
a
that's
lot of
what
our
she said, too
mowers,
big and you won't get
mowing
big.
areas, you know, is fairly small. Is that about the same size we already got?
Yeah.
Cause like Bob, I think you could get one too
Yeah.
wide for
For
the
our.
projects we have.
I like that
Cheaper by
price.
the hour too.
Yeah.
It is better than I
Pretty
was expecting when
negotiable.
she
That's pretty good.
brought it back, I was
Well,
like,
nice.
that's not,
Yeah.
not too bad.
My motor costs $100 less than that.
That's what, you know, Detroit's pretty expensive.
It wasn't a Detroit. I wish.
Did Tim, wanna see that?
I'd say just go ahead and get it. I don't, we don't gotta make a motion to it.
To me, it's just part of,
It's part of
maintenance, and it's underneath five.
Yeah.
Under 10,000, I don't know what's coming
And
in.
say, if they need it, they need it. What are you gonna do with the old one?
Well, what, do we need to hold that for an auction then?
I
For the
would
county
say,
auction?
yeah, they've surely got room, road and bridge, they can stick it in the corner.
Okay.
Be surprised that now anyway.
Be surprised what it might be.
Yep.
And then for the painting that we had talked about for the lobby, I was only able to get 2 bids, harder than I thought to find people, but I have some wanting to go with a bid that's $17.50. We would be purchasing the paint so that Karen could get started on the part that she wants to do, and the part that we'd be paying for would be the lobby, the 2 stairways going down, and the stairway coming up here.
$1,750
Plus paint.
if we pay the thing, yeah.
I wouldn't do it for that.
I wouldn't either.
We get
Don't let that be known.
Individual.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it for that either.
I wouldn't, I meant it might be a fair price, but I wouldn't do it for that.
Just wanna make sure they got work comp and general liability, just
Mhm.
because of the height and everything we're
I'll be
dealing
busy
with.
with my road and
It's
bridge out
covered,
there.
it's the liability that was covered for the year, so we're still, that coverage still.
Okay.
Alright.
And then my last thing was, on the sheriff's office side, they requested that they need, as soon as possible, electronic assist doors. So this is for 3 doors, but because they also need to be secure doors, they can't be doors that can be, like in the courthouse, they can't be pushed and open to the public, they still have to be secure doors. So there's one company, Dormacaba, that does do most of our electronic doors here. And that comes under the 10,000 at $8,975 for 3 doors. That they do need done.
I guess the sheriff can, he got it in his budget.
Well, and that's where they're coming out of a maintenance, okay, okay.
I'm assuming probably
That's why
not.
it's coming out, but it's, yeah,
But something they do need done as quick as we
And it's
can.
with-
That'd be courthouse general, wouldn't it?
courthouse general, what it would come under, and that would be with, under the, 10,
Under the 10.
so he doesn't have to go out.
Is there more than one bid?
Not that can do these doors and keep them secure doors with the remotes that they need, because that's what they will be, is kind of remote control, but only with a open.
These are human doors. Human doors or garage doors?
Human.
doors?
Well, they're all interior doors within
Oh,
their
okay,
size.
okay.
All the interior doors.
And coming out of courthouse general,
That's what I would say, yeah.
so that one, do we need the motion so that you can show that it comes out of courthouse general then, or no, we don't? I don't know,
I mean,
since it's under the.
I mean, we can. We can. Make a motion to what'd you say?
Dormacaba?
Dormacaba for interior doors for the sheriff's office,
single source.
single source for $8,975.01 to come out of courthouse general.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Tim second, Tom seconded. Or Tim moved, Tom seconded.
And there might actually be a page that I need for you to sign, that if you need to, yes.
Any further discussion?
So unless you need the motion to say that you're signing, because I do need.
Oh,
to sign.
moved, sorry, yeah, okay. Yeah. And as well, authorize, direct the chairman to sign purchase order, I'm assuming. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
I think that's that paint, the door, the more, I think that's it, I think I'm done.
We have nothing else? Call adjourn at 12:40. I gotta wait till 1:30.
Since he's wearing a, what kind of hat? Trump or Biden or?